All right, let's welcome him to the Punch Podcast. It's good to see him back in the ring too, because look, I think if you watch the sport of boxing, this guy's got to be one of your favourites over the years. He's always entertaining. Welcome, Jack Brubaker.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, it's always awesome to have you on. And look, first time, and so welcome. Look, it's been a while since we've seen you in the ring, and I caught you briefly in the Gold Coast, and we had a quick chat, and you were like, "I've got something coming soon. Oh, you'll find out." And now we do know there is a fight on No Limit, and you're back in the ring.
Yeah, back in the ring, No Limit. Yeah, held it under wraps a little bit. They done the big 4 or 5 show press release, and yeah, I had tens and hundreds of people messaging me, hitting me up when I'm fighting because they could see my little teasers of me being in the gym and sort of teasing a little fight post here and there. So it's good to finally have a fight locked in and announced, and yeah, potentially an even bigger one in the future.
Yeah, well, obviously, where we are taking on Troy O'Mealy, he'll be your next opponent. How did you go? Obviously, it's been because I think maybe I'm going to say April 21 was probably the last time you fought. That was against Stephen
Yeah,
Spark.
spot on. Someone said today it was 2 years and 3 months. So I feel like it's been a lifetime since I've been back in the ring. And yeah, I just really, truly needed that break away. Sort of, I've been fighting pretty much non-stop since I was 18. And yeah, sort of just the last couple of years, I couldn't put my finger on why I wasn't feeling myself in the ring when I had all the help. And I think it's all boiled down to it's one of those sports you got to fucking be 100% in it. You can't sort of lean on your teammates or have a bad week and back up with your teammates the following week. It's a brutal sport, and yeah, I just noticed in the Spark fight, and give him credit, he's a great fighter. He just reminded me of myself sort of a few years previous, just so I could tell that look in his eye. He was young, he was hungry, and yeah, he just did enough to win. Like when I threw 4 punches, he threw 5. When I threw 6, he threw 7. He just had that bit more hunger, and it was honestly the first fight in a long, long time that I felt good in the ring. I sort of got on top of my diet, had a dietitian help me out. It was a tough weight cut. I ended up losing 7 kilos in 16 hours, but it was the worst I felt on the scales, but the best I felt in the ring.
Yeah, right. And those cuts can get pretty gnarly, can't they, when you got to do that much? Do you check that, say, like 24, 48 hours out, and you're like, oh, I'm a bit.
Oh man, I was 48 hours, 24. I was stressing fucking weeks before, but it was
Yeah.
the first time I'd done it that way, and yeah, I just trusted the process. I didn't do a test run. I probably should have for a bit of peace of mind, but yeah, I remember at the last press conference, yeah, all the boys and everyone was putting bets on me that if I was going to make the weight because I still looked big, and I was like, I think that was the first time Jeff seen a cut like that happen so severe, so close to the fight. I remember getting back to his house afterwards, and we jumped on the scales, and like, yeah, I was 7 kilos over, and Jeff's freaking out, going, "Jack, mate, it's 7 kilos, is it, mate?" But yeah, I just trusted the fight dietitian, that Jordan Sullivan. He does all the UFC champs, so I was quietly confident, but very nervous.
Have you had to do any really, really unique things to cut weight? Because obviously, what's the big one? Probably is the bath the big one, a hot bath, or what's the.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty lucky where I live. I sort of live in a pretty beautiful complex. We got the saunas. So yeah, we got a home sauna, home gym, home yeah, swimming complex. So I'm extremely lucky to be able to do my weight cuts at home. But yeah, man, I've had that many stories of past experiences of whether of not being able to use a sauna in Japan when I fought over there because of my tattoos and the yakuza. So pretty much having to cut weight in a little bath, which is about, oh man, enough to fit a little Asian dude. And I had my partner at the time bringing in boiling water, and I was sitting up with my knees around my chest, and yeah, it's just torture. Times like that make you appreciate the proper way.
I'm still stuck on all your people that live in your complex trying to go for a sauna, and you're in there, shirt off, mullet out, just sweating, just get down five
Yeah,
kilos. Get
got the
out, you're letting
leopard
the
print.
steam out.
Yeah, I got the leopard print speedos on too.
There you go. I mean, maybe that's why some of them live there. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it, man. It's all a show.
I've seen you out and about running over the last couple of days. Is the fitness for the fight? Is that the thing that you're questioning most, or trying to put the most work into?
No, I've always been quite fit. I think I'm learning to be a bit smarter. I feel like this last week, I can sort of, I've definitely overtrained a lot in my previous fights. And the biggest one was, when I fought Tim. I knew I had that fight 16 weeks out. And it was such a big fight for me and such a big hype. I definitely hit the road early. I was doing 2, 3 sessions a day for 10 weeks, and the fight was still 6 weeks out. And I just sort of I remember having my last spar about 6 weeks. I felt really good, and then it just all went downhill. I started, I had a staph infection in my arm that spread throughout my body, and I ended up in hospital a couple of weeks out, and it just set off a numerous other complications with my hips and my back and things I never experienced. So, I was just nice and easy. Like I was just keeping the lungs open. I've done all the hard work. You're not going to get any fitter a couple of days out, but I just like to, keep the lungs and the body loose. So, just to get out and about, you get that sense of fight coming up, and it's a good experience.
Did you miss it while you're off? Like, do you watch? Because obviously, in the time that you've probably spent away from the ring, boxing in, say, like the last 2 years and 4 months or whatever you said, it's really gone up and up in the Australian public. Like, it's
Oh,
massive now.
yeah, of course. At the time, I really, I set up a gym at my parents' at a factory, and I thought, man, I'll probably be training. I still train every day, but in the course of over 18 months, I reckon I trained 3 times boxing. I just, I didn't really have that itch, didn't have the hunger. It's really only been the last 6 months that I sort of started to get that itch back, and watching No Limit and all these big young upcoming fighters coming through is sort of made me really want to get back in there. And I still have I know I got a lot left in the tank. I'm still relatively young. I've recently a new dad, so my priorities have changed a lot. I feel like my whole career I've probably done it backwards or the wrong way. I don't regret anything, but I've sort of one of those mentality of I train hard and I play hard. So yeah, I train for 3 months and then I go out and celebrate for 3 months, and then I'll be back in the gym. So my career and my training is sort of very up and down. So I'm looking forward to, my priorities being a bit different. I just knew if I was sitting in the pub in 5 years' time, I didn't want to be that guy to have that regret and say, "Oh, what if I just come back and have one more run, one more run?" Like, man, I'm stoked with everything I've achieved in my boxing career so far. I've done a lot. I've given a lot to the sport. The sport's given a lot to me. I just feel like everything extra now is just a bonus. So I'm just gonna go in each press conference, in each weigh in, each fight with a big smile on my face, just knowing that, man, I enjoy this. This is what I do, and if I stop enjoying it, I don't need to do it. So there's no reason to.
Yeah, and I think any fans of the sport, when they saw that you've had a fight announced, because there's very few, I could probably do it on one hand, that can sell a fight like you, that it's got the showmanship. Obviously, Isaac Hardman's one of the all-time greats. But look,
Yeah, well,
the lip
that's
on
all
you
part.
yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Like you never know, anything's possible in the future. Sort of carrying a bit more weight. Um, I still think I could probably make welterweight. I'm not 100% sure. If the right fight came along, I definitely wouldn't dismiss the opportunity to go back down to welterweight. But I feel big and strong at light middle, and there's big fights at that there for me too.
Yeah, because you mentioned on your press conference that you mentioned, I just heard you even just in the sentence, just reference the word retirement. Oh, there's a few names I want to tick off before I retire, but judging from what I'm seeing, and hopefully on Wednesday night we see it all come together, but it looks like to me that you could be a long way off that. I don't think it's.
Yeah, I say the more time I spend in the gym, the more I enjoy it. Again, when I first sort of was toying around with the idea of having a fight, I sort of told myself, I said, I'd come back and have one more big last hurrah, and then I can sort of, it'll give me a platform to say my goodbyes. And then I'm starting to dismiss that. And then it was, oh, well, two more now. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm enjoying it. That's where my mind's changed. It's not more so about giving myself a platform to say my goodbyes or whatnot. I'm just gonna keep fighting, and again, there's things I do want to tick off the bucket list before I hang them up. So I can't give anyone an answer if I have one more fight or if I have 10 more fights, but I'll know how many I'm going to have. I'm just going to keep enjoying it. And right now I'm loving it. So that's when I was at my most dangerous and my best.
And you sometimes don't know how it's going to go because let's say Dennis Hogan, he was probably looking around the same when he went to fight in Newcastle, and he was like, "If I don't win, it's probably in my last." Next minute, he's got the IBO world title. Next minute he's on a big matchroom show overseas with
But
Katie Taylor. Like, it was
yeah,
massive.
it's wild, and that's sort of life. It throws curveballs at you all the time, and man, yeah, the older you get, the more you just enjoy each day. And yeah, I've definitely had some tough moments over the past couple of years, and yeah, I lost a close friend to suicide, and yeah, that was probably only a few months before the Stevie Spark fight, and that was going into that fight was probably at my darkest, and sort of put on that bit of a front, and I still look back at the photo of me smiling at the press conference, and it sort of makes me think. I was like, man, I look so happy in that photo, but at times, that time of my life was probably one of the darkest times I've had.
Yeah, well, it's awesome to see your name on a fight poster now. And look, we want to see you back in the winner's circle. Training's been going well. You're feeling fit. You've got an opponent. And what do you think happens in this fight? Because I know there are some names in the horizon that you've been very vocal about, which I'm looking to get to.
Yeah, well, man, I'm not looking past Troy because Troy's, like I said, I've done lots of rounds with Troy. He's tough, he's willing, he comes forward. But again, he's easy to hit. He's a fight that you can look very good against. And I'm going to try and, as much as I laugh about it, and I still got that Arturo Gatti mentality, I've got the skills. I can box really well. I just get away from it. I feel like if I'm boxing well and then it gets into a bit of a war, then I'm like, okay, I get that war mentality. I'm like, okay, well, this is what we're doing now. But I'm trying my best to be able to go to and fro from that. So yeah, when you got to bang, you got to bang, and then I got to be able to get on my back foot and box and move again and look slick, and then bang when I have to. So yeah, it's still a learning curve for me. This is my first fight in a couple of years, so uh, it's a good perfect fight to come back to. So um, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be my sharpest or my best, but I'm definitely gonna be working on little things that I can show improvement in, and then that way when I get the bigger fights, I can improve more so and blow out all the cobwebs against Troy.
Yeah, well, you did say at the press conference for this no limit fight that you are about to take on. There are a few names that you want to get in the ring with. Who are they?
Man, again, I'm a big name fighter. I'm a big show fighter. The big fights, I live for that. Like again, I'm Miss Entertainment. The bigger the show, the more that hypes me up. I love the build up. I love the press conferences. Again, I want Nikita Zoo. He's on a roll. Everyone's talking about him. Everyone's on the hype train, and man, rightly so. But he's beatable. Like I feel like most, especially his last opponent. I was looking at him at the press conference talking, and man, he just looked like a deer in headlights. He looked beat before he got in the ring, and that happens a lot against the Zoos. So they had that whole team around them. They had that aura, and yeah, sort of just water off a duck's back to me. I love that, and I feel a fight with Nikita, I'll be able to get one back because obviously when I fought Tim back in 2019 had a lot of build up. It was just unfortunate, yeah, the camp we had and the final weeks of the fight getting sick. But man, those opportunities don't come around. I made my bed. I done the trash talk. I built the fight up. As much as Jeff and my team and everyone around me begging me and pleading with me not to take the fight, you sort of had to take your medicine. And again, if I didn't take that fight, yeah, I wouldn't get that opportunity again, and you become someone that pulls out. And I've seen what that happens to other Australian fighters who listen to their team maybe and don't take the fight. You feel from the Australian public turns.
And obviously, you've seen Nikita go the distance with Ben Horn. Is he someone that is probably thinking a little bit like you that he can do it?
Oh yeah, of course, man. Nikita's no one's unbeatable. I mean, man, Nikita's a great fighter, and yeah, he's got a great team around him. But man, I back myself. I know if I have one, the biggest thing is if I'm hungry and I'm in it 100%, like I feel like I am right now. Man, before I had all the help, back when I was winning these OPBF belts and fighting the top fighters in Japan that hadn't been beaten 10 years with 24-1 records. Man, before I had all the help and the strength coaches and the people around me, I had the love and hunger for it, which goes a long way.
Yeah, because I saw that obviously he said to me on this podcast, actually in the last episode, he said he's not going to really look overseas until 15 fights. He's only at 6. And I'm thinking to myself, there's very few left in this country for you. Hopefully you're one of them. And does that mean August on the card, you just storm the ring?
In August when we fight, man, who knows? I might even be fighting in August. So yeah, if we get through Troy, yeah, man, I want to back it up. Like I said in my previous life before Dad, I definitely enjoy myself with the boys, and yeah, I just want to get straight back in the gym. But there's no off season, there's no party, there's no losing all my fitness, there's losing all my strength, and coming back from day one. It's like yeah, I don't want to be like the Ricky Hatton. I want to get straight back in there. So while I'm fit and strong, if Nikita hasn't got an opponent for August 23, man, I'm putting my hand up straight away in the ring.
So you're thinking in 5 weeks you can beat Troy O'Meara and then beat Nikita Zoo. Wow.
100%. That's what I'm believing.
I'm liking what you're saying. I'm looking forward to seeing it and knowing
you picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm picking it up, but I'm also liking the way you operate with a microphone in front of a crowd. And I know that you're just going to go absolutely apeshit when you start calling him out.
What's my fucking name?
Yes, Jack Brubaker. There you go. You've
nah, it's again. I'm excited. I'm feeling good. I got that hunger back, and man, I'm not saying I wasn't hungry. Yeah, when I was my last couple of fights, because I wouldn't have jumped in there, but it's different from being in it and being fucking in it. So
yeah.
I thought I was, but until that spark fight where again, I just knew I needed to step away, and man, if I fight again, like I said, it would be because I want to, not because I have to.
Yeah, well, we're going to look forward to that because there was nothing better, like I've said in this chat already, that to see your name on a fight poster and to see you in 2 in 5 weeks would be even better. So let's get through this next one unscathed and keep climbing.
That's it. Yeah, 100%. Troy, I just got to get myself mentally prepared for a fight because Troy, he's been around the bush for a long time, and yeah, he's had some tough fights, and he's very durable. But I know I can hurt him because I've heard him in sparring, and I know if I'm just relaxing and I'm enjoying myself, that's when I'm at my strongest. So the second I start to try look for that knockout, it never comes.
All right. Well, if you're not already supporting Jack Brubaker, you've missed probably 6 or 7 years of fighting. But look, jump on now, never too late. But look, follow him. You'll catch his fights there on Fox Sports as well. And it's always awesome to get you on this show. And I look forward to doing this again because, to be honest, it's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to hearing what your neighbours say about you and your leopard print down in the sauna for this one. All right.
Yeah, actually, I got the weigh-in tomorrow. I hadn't thought about maybe wearing them, but who knows? We'll see what we can do.
Are we cowboy hatting?
Yeah, the walkout cowboy hat, babe. Cronulla Cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. I grew up riding horses and property my whole life. So again, I've had a few names over the years: the Breakback Brubaker, Jelly Knight Jack, Jack the Ripper. But I think I'll retire on Cronulla Cowboy in honor of the Marrickville Mauler. I like the rhyme.
I mean, what 2 dudes you'd want to hang out with?
Yeah, that's it.
That's a crew.
100%.
Awesome. Well, Jack Baker, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, thanks again.
Much appreciated. Thanks for having me, brother.